Grab one of these if you can. If not, we'll make it work without it. We'll start on our back. If anything bothers your foot, then pause. If you can think of a modification, go ahead. I'm obviously going to try to stay off of it, but if anything bothers it, don't do it. Skip it. Modify it if you know how, but you probably just skip right past it. Otherwise, we're just going to get started on our back with some rolling. So I'm going to be here, and I'm trying to keep my knees the same distance from my shoulder the whole time. And I can put my hands down like this if I don't want to hit my foot on the ground. So I'm rocking here and I'm feeling my abs while I'm doing it. My back is rounded, so I'm almost kind of like foam rolling my back. I'm not, but similar. I'm getting that tissue to feel the floor. And then from here, if this bothers, just keep doing your rocks. But now I'm alternating one leg to the other, just getting a little stretch and getting body moving. And then I could go to a straddle. Again, we should feel abs a little bit. We're just getting loose and warm. And from here, let's go right into a T-spine rotation, but I want to make it somewhat dynamic. So from here, I'm going to push this knee down. I'm going to look to my hand. I'm going to exhale. And then slowly, with control, I'm going to come to here and flip. Then look the other way. Exhale. Bring everything back up. And then I'm going to flip. This might take a couple reps to get used to. We'll do 5 on each side. Go ahead at your own pace. Excuse me, I'll do 5 on each side. Go at your own pace. You're going to go a little slower, go a little slower. You want to hold it there, try to get that shoulder or arm to the ground, that's fine. And then you can try to take your feet a little higher each time to get a little bit more core. I'm going to do one more each side. Good. And now I'll roll over onto my stomach. From here, I'm going to put my hands on the ground just like this. I'm not pushing with my hands, I'm lifting with my back, but I'm not going backwards. I'm trying to take the top of my head up. Good. So I'm also squeezing my glutes and pushing them into the floor. To do that, my feet might come off the ground, they might not. Now I can use a little assistance from my hands to get higher and higher and higher. If you feel any pinching in your back or anything, go lower. Or you can just do a Superman variation, something here, but we are going to go into that here in a second next. I'm going to take one hand, put it under my forehead. Other arm is straight, and I'm going alternating Superman. So I'm going to lift, and I'm trying to not only get to the ceiling, I'm trying to go as far as I can with my fingers and my heel. Think about your arm and your foot are going further away, and they're stretching your body out or decompressing your spine. So I'm going far away and up. I'm going to do 10 on each side. Switching sides. Good. And then I'm going to go back to my back. Lift legs up in the air. And then I'm going to see, can I keep my full back from my tailbone to my head flat and get both legs straight? If I can't, that's fine. I'm going to start here. I'm going to grab here. And then I'm just going to straighten my legs, pull them into my chest, straighten my legs, and I'm going to try to take my heel to the ceiling. I'm going to get 10 here. I might get a big stretch on the back side. If you're not feeling too tight today, you just might not feel much here. But it's fine. We're getting some good bend through the knees that we may or may not be getting right now with the foot bothering us. So this is good for that alone. We'll go 10 here. If I don't say the reps clearly or need a reminder, everything's just going to be about 10 at a slow pace. With that being said, just do it at your pace. And when I move on, you move on. Good. And then now we're going to go onto our side. I'm bent at the knees like I'm going to do the clamshell exercise. My feet are, I want to imagine my back's along a wall. My feet can't go through the wall. So they got to be somewhat in front of me here and not back here. From here now, I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to straighten this leg back. And now I'm going to reach this arm forward to here. So this is the bottom position. And then now I'm going to push through my knee and my elbow to lift to here. Then I also want you to reach here. Try to reach this arm further and then take this foot further away and try to get further every time. So going up, it's like mobility. Coming down is like a stretch. I feel this stretch here in my lat, a little bit in my hip. Hey, Justin, you want to say hi to Kobe? It will be. It's just a video. I'm about to send it to him. Same thing. Set up, clamshell, elbow down. I'm going to reach this arm, straight leg, get a stretch. This side feels tighter for me. It might for you. Maybe the other side was tighter. Keep notice of those things. And if a side is tighter, maybe you spend a little more time here in this stretch position than the up position. Justin didn't want to come say hi. 10 here as well. Breathe through it. If you're real tight, do your exhales once you get your hip to the ground. And let's call that 10. From here now, we're going to get some adductions in, which we do in the warm-up sometimes. Now, if this bothers our foot, we can just have it floating here, which will actually make this a little harder. Traditionally, we put it down. You can float this foot here, and I'm pulling it and creating tension here. And then I'm trying to lift this leg down here 10 times. The other variation is you could try circles with a floating foot. That's definitely tougher. Definitely doable as well. Nine and a 10. Beautiful. Let's go back to seated here. So we did this position from our back. Now I'm up tall and sitting. And I want you to inhale. I want you to get tall. I'm going to inhale here. Then I'm going to exhale. And I'm not reaching for anything. I'm going to grab. So right here while I'm tall, I'm going to reach out. I'm getting right behind my knee. Maybe your calf or higher or wherever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to inhale, get tall. And I'm going to exhale. And I'm trying to take my face that way. Not this way, that way. So I'm exhaling straight out. You're not going to get very far. That's okay. Then you're going to rock back a little bit till you feel your abs. That's it. No lower. Keep your back flat. So I'm not going back that far. Then I'm going to go tall, and then I'm going forward. I'm going to rock back a little bit, get tall, forward. We'll just do a couple more of these. Let's keep these at 5. Good. And if that rock back's getting too easy, keep your back flat. You can take it harder and like lift the feet up like this. Make sure we get tall again. Forward. Last one for me. And once I get here, I'm going to reach a little further. Now I'm going to let my back round. I'm just going to enjoy the fold here. I get a lot of tension here in my neck when I just let my head relax. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you do, all I'm going to do is just kind of move my head around, and then I feel it go down my back. I'm not letting it be so intense that it's changing my face or my breath pattern. I'm just moving through it. And you can start. I'll face you here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm like lifting this shoulder, and right now, honestly, Kobe, I'm just playing. And I want you to do the same. Just feel what feels good. I'm just staying in a forward-leaning position, not putting too much pressure on my back here. I'm not trying to get as far as I can in my feet. I'm just feeling what feels good. You grab this outside ankle. We're going to do some rotations next. You can start working that in. Just stay moving right here slowly for another couple of seconds. From there now, I want you to set, maybe I'm down here, maybe I'm up here. And again, if this bothers you, we'll skip it. But I don't want you to have to put your foot on the ground unless there's no problem doing that. Go ahead and throw your foot on the ground. We're just going to do some seated twists. If not, or if that bothers you, you can set it right here on the leg. You can actually push this down or go here and twist as well. But then I want to make that somewhat dynamic. So I'm going to go exhale, coming back, lifting everything to a boat pose here, and then I'm switching. I can make it a little tougher, take my hands up. Do a couple more each side. Then from there, I'm going to go to quadruped. From here now, we're going to start doing some cat-cow, but we're going to throw bird dogs in it as well. So I'm going to go into that cat. I'm going to exhale, and when I do this, I don't just want to push my upper back up or just my mid back or my lower back. I want to do all three, or I can focus on one, but mix it up. So like I can go lower back or mid or upper, and maybe those all look the same to you, but I can feel them differently. Make sure you're mixing it up. But if you need to, put the foam roller underneath your feet back here. Exhale here. Inhale, reach opposite arm, opposite leg, and look to the sky. I want you to create a somewhat of a back bend here safely. So we're not trying to crunch my lower back like this, but I'm trying to get as long as I can, and this is usually where we stop. And now here, I just want you to look up and then raise a couple more inches. Coming back, round the back, other arm and leg, get to level, and then look up, raise a couple more inches. We'll do 5 each side here. Whoops. Good. Remember, I'm exhaling on the cat here when I push my back to the sky. Inhale, reach out, and then I can exhale again there or hold the breath. Doing one last one on each side. Now, while I'm here, and if you need to take a break or whatever, pause the video for your knees or get a pad or towel or something. We'll be here for another couple of exercises. What I would like us to do now is I'm going to keep this down. I'm going to keep this out. And what I can do is a hip circle here. And again, put this under the foot if necessary. But I can do a hip circle here. I'm going to come around and I'm going to go back, but I'm not making it so big that I rotate. I'm going to come back and then I'm going to go around and I'm going to come back. And I want 3 of each of these. I'm going to switch the other side. These are just the cars. So these are the shoulder cars from the side planks that we do a lot. And then these are hip cars. Cars just stands for controlled articular rotation. So big ass circles. And this is, I wouldn't necessarily give this to a team or anything like that. This is pretty specific, and I was thinking about What are the type of movements that you're not going to be getting? What are the movements you are going to be getting over this next period of time? I haven't heard back about your MRI yet. We don't know how long it is, but I know you know how to do core on the physio ball and side planks, things like that. These are hitting some of these little muscles that I think will be beneficial for you as well. From here now, I want to, I'm sorry, not staying in the quadruped. I can use this if I need to. I can put it under my feet primarily and then grab something else if I need to. Or I'm just sitting here on my knees. I don't have a lot of weight back here in my toes. But I'll use this at first just to put my hand on it. And then I'm reaching up to the sky. And then if I'm holding it here, I can just keep it in my hand. I'm not just reaching this way, I'm also pushing my hips up. And I'm not letting my arm come out in front of my face. I'm able to look to the ceiling. My arm is behind my gaze. Do it 5 here. Try and get a little further every time. Exhaling. Whatever, that's the head. Other side. Now really the last thing I would like you to do, play with, use your roller, is to do some balancing drills. Most single leg hinging exercises, single leg RDLs, you just do them from a knee. When you're on your foot, it's going to challenge the balance and stability of your foot, ankle, everything below the knee as well as the hip. When you do it from a knee, it's just challenging the hip. And what's wrong with that for right now? Because it's the circumstances and the cards you've been dealt. So what I mean by that is you can use this for balance, put something underneath here to keep your foot elevated if needed. That will make it a little harder. If you put a little weight in your foot, that'll be better to help you balance. But essentially we're just going to do single leg RDL. Do what you have to do with your hands and just keep it close to the ground. If you want to make it harder, reach it out above your head. All the same rules apply. We'll try to keep your hips level. I don't want to come way over here or way down here. Unless you could go here and do the airplane exercise you do on the ground. This would be a great one to throw in as well. But wanted to definitely work on some balancing here. At this point, it's kind of freestyle. You get some of that airplane exercise with rotation. You can do single leg RDL. You mess with bringing this foot around. You come in here. This is something that I want you to play with. Say something in your hand like a foam roller. You can set it down if you need to. Leave your hands on the ready. Just really good at balancing on your hips. We can get better at that right now, and that'll translate for when you return. Kobe, let me know if you have any questions or anything. You can roll through this a couple times a week. Honestly, 3, you can do it like but I wanted to hit a little bit of everything instead of just giving you traditional core. If that's not what you're looking for and you like this shit, you can let me know. I do think it'd be beneficial. But traditional core exercises, what I would do is I'd knock this out and then go right into, you pick something for the front of the body. That could be, hanging leg raises, the stuff on the physio balls, ab rollouts, things like that. Pick something for the side of the body. It could be like the Da Vinci plank, any side plank variation, suitcase carries. You pick something for the back side of the body, some sort of glute bridge, a reverse hyper, Superman's, a reverse plank, anything like that. This stuff would actually qualify as well, the single leg RDL stuff from the knee. And then you gotta do something for rotation or anti-rotation. And I recommend anti-rotation because we did several rotation exercises here during this. So that's like your AR presses, your band flexion extension when it's attached to the rack. Any sort of plank like shoulder tap variation where you're fighting rotation. You just pick one for each of those different phases of core training and then do that 3-4 times, and then you can just use that same template, front side of the body, back side of the body, side of the body, and anti-rotating. You pick 4 exercises and you just repeat through them. If you need me to help you pick those exercises, I can, but it's just, I would give you similar stuff that we've done in the past because I don't want to give you anything new and crazy without understanding the full percentage. But let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if this is not what you're looking for.